The Xenomorphs, one of, if not the most well-known fictional alien of all time. First appearing all the way back in 1979, these aliens are just as resilient in real life as they are on screen. Over 40 years later, and these guys are still getting movies. As of literally yesterday, the newest film just dropped, that being Alien Romulus. And the Jurassic Park series, first debuting in 1993, people still flock to theaters to see the prehistoric titans of the past throw down an epic battle. While not as old, the Jurassic series has held its own for the past 30 years. So while normally my audience is made up of younger fans, anyone watching that has nerdy parents, call them in, as they won't want to miss this 40 years in the making battle. Today, we're pitting two of the most fearsome and aggressive beasts from either continuity into a ring. On one end, coming in at 20 feet tall, 40 to 45 feet long, and around 9 tons, you have the bloodthirsty dinosaur that kills for sport, the Indominus Rex. First appeared in 2015's Jurassic World, and is considered to be one of the most powerful dinosaurs in the entire series to this day. And on the other side of the ring, coming in at 15 feet tall, 20 feet long, and 3,500 pounds, we have the terrifying Queen Xenomorph, first appearing in 1986 Aliens. Hello everyone, it's your host Godzilla Guy, and today we're going to break down and analyze possibly one of, if not the most bloody battle this channel has ever seen. So put your spacesuits on, and grab a freshly cooked locust, kick back and relax, and let's answer the question. The Queen Xenomorph versus the Indominus Rex. Who would win? So, if you're new to my channel, firstly, howdy, I'm Ryan, aka Godzilla Guy, and I make weekly nerdy content, ranging from dinosaurs, kaiju, anime, sci-fi, and much more. So if any of that interests you, then make sure to check out the channel after watching this video, and consider subscribing. It means a lot. So, firstly, we need to address some rules and conditions of this fight. Let's start with the Queen. Now, there have been many Queen Xenomorphs throughout the series. While some are stronger than others, we're just going to slap them all together. And I want to mention, we're only using canon stories and feats, so no Batman or Superman stuff. And look, I'm going to be honest, the Queen doesn't really have too many feats, so we'll be using all these strength and durability feats from the normal drone Xenomorphs, as the Queen should be able to do the same, and of course, do more than that. Now into the Indom. We'll be using all of her feats from Jurassic World and Camp Cretaceous, and we are assuming this is the one we see on screen, so no, not a fully grown one. And finally, despite how cool that animation was at the start, thank you Monster Masons for that by the way, they won't be fighting in an arena like that. In order for them both to be able to have some knowledge and be able to use their surroundings and abilities to their fullest, we'll be placing them into a jungle. This allows the Queen to climb around, move with ease, and this allows the Indom to hide amongst her surroundings and use her abilities to their fullest. So, now we need to address what categories they'll be competing for. After all that is said and done, we'll break down the fight and guess how it would play out. So with that being said, they'll be fighting for strength, speed, durability, agility, IQ, battle intelligence, abilities, physical weaponry, and terrain adaptability. So, with that being said, let's answer the question. Alien versus dinosaur. The past versus the future. The queen of perfect organisms, the Queen Xenomorph, and the untamable king, the Indominus Rex. Starting with strength. And we're first going to address all the Xenomorph feats, then move on to the queens. Now, trust me when I say, the Xenomorphs have a lot of feats of strength. So in order for this video to not be too long, we're just going to jump to the better ones. Firstly, we see through many comics and films, these guys are able to break through and tear down metal doors. Also, an Alien into I don't know how to say that, it'll be on screen. In Chapter 32, they are stated to have, with a single headbutt, be able to damage a person enough to where it looks like they got ran over by a car. They're able to easily pick up humans and tear them apart. They're casually able to output strength that's the equivalent to 3 grown men, and they're casually able to destroy metal grates just by pulling them inward. They can tear through android limbs, and their best feat being how they can tear apart good boys, or man-sized robots capable of tanking impacts that leave craters in rock. Down to the Queen's feats herself. As you see, just by walking, she's able to break a metal ladder. She's able to break through protective glass with just a few headbutts, and at a young age, completely eviscerates a large group of men in seconds, even completely ignoring the bullets that are being shot at her throughout the process. So, overall, some pretty good stuff for the Queen. But let's see what the Indom can do. As you see in her rampage, she's able to bite through and completely destroy a gyrosphere. For context, the gyrosphere is able to take gunfire and even tank Ankylosaurus tail swipes. She's easily able to throw out velociraptors, the Jurassic World raptors coming in around 320 pounds. She's able to briefly pick up Rexy and throw her, Rexy coming in somewhere between 7 to 15 tons. She also, with a simple touch of her claw, was able to break right through a gyrosphere. She also slaps Blue hard enough to crack a stone pillar. She also, while at first losing the head collision on with Rexy, was able to very quickly overpower her. She was able to roll over an Ankylosaurus, the Jurassic World Ankies, coming in at 8 metric tons. She consistently is able to throw around trucks with ease, as we see in both Jurassic World and Camp Cretaceous. We also see in Camp Cretaceous, she was able to tear down a metal fence. She's also able to throw aside shipping crates. She's able to knock over trees with her sheer size, and crack concrete with ease. She also, like the young Queen, is able to tear through a group of men with ease. She completely destroyed Camp Cretaceous off screen, and was able to bring down a Brachiosaurus, which weighs in at 60 tons. And her best feat is tearing down the zipline tower, being able to bend, break, and tear through the I-beams. Doing a rough guess, and having ChatGPT do the math, it would require over 2,700 tons of force to break them apart. And while it's a really good feat, it's more of an outlier. An outlier being a feat that doesn't really line up with the other feats, whether that's something much weaker than normal or much stronger. There's some context needed for this feat, being the fact that it took over 2 minutes for her to fully pull it off, and it seems the tower itself was old and possibly rusted. So while, don't get me wrong, it's a really good feat, we're going to leave it out, as if we take it into account, then it would be a smackdown and the Indominus would win with ease. As always, keep collecting, guys. I'll the guy out. See ya. No, but really, with all the feats mentioned, winner of strength goes to the Indominus Rex. Given that some of the Queen's best feats, like breaking the glass, are very casual feats for the Indom steals strength with ease. Now into speed. And thankfully, after the dreadfully long category that was strength, speed is pretty easy to answer. The Queen Xenomorph being clocked at a max speed of 40 kilometers an hour. Or for my fellow Freedom per Eagle units watching, 40 kilometers an hour is equal to 24 miles an hour. Now to the Indom. She has been stated to get a speed of around 30 miles an hour, and as shown at times for brief periods, can go faster, such as in the car chase in Camp Cretaceous. So again, speed goes to the Indominus Rex. Now onto durability. Again, starting with the normal Xenomorphs, to get a baseline for the Queen. The drones are able to take many blunt force attacks, such as taking hard hits from a hydraulic arm, or being able to no-sell great falls. They can also withstand gunfire, as I already mentioned in strength, such as taking a few shotgun blasts to the face and kept fighting. They can withstand explosions as well, such as being able to keep fighting after their arms are blown off. They also have a lot of random feats, like being able to take many axe swings, they're unharmed by flashbangs, they're able to withstand nerve gas, they can take freezing chemicals. For reference, the same freezing agent can freeze a human solid, and they can of course withstand their own acid blood. Now onto the Queen's feats. She was able to get hit by an extremely blunt force attack. She can take the explosive force of an entire belt of grenades, and when fully grown, is practically unkillable by normal gunfire. And her best feat comes from Alien vs. Predator. We see the Predator throw a self-destruction bomb into a room full of facehuggers, and after they leave that part of the pyramid, get up to the top floor of the pyramid, leave the pyramid, get all the way back up to the surface, and leave the town, the explosion still reached them. And we see the Queen literally just come out of the ground unscathed. Now onto the Indom. She's also able to withstand gunfire. She took an Anki tail swipe with no damage. She was able to tank the explosion from a rocket, though keep in mind the rocket didn't actually hit her, it did miss, so she only took part of the blast, but still a great feat. She's able to take bites and getting slammed into buildings and keep fighting, and overall she can take quite a beating, but there is an issue. While she can take a beating and keep fighting, she does get damaged pretty easily. As we see, Rexy, Metal, and even Blue are able to damage her, whether it's bleeding or getting fully stabbed. So it's not really that she's durable, rather she's really resilient and is able to keep fighting. So it's pretty clear the winner for durability is the Queen Xenomorph. Next up is agility. Yeah, the Queen Xena, I don't really think I have to debate this one here. I mean, the Indom is agile for a dinosaur, but it's a Xenomorph we're talking about here. So yeah, the Queen Xeno takes it. Now onto IQ. Who is smarter? Now again, we're going to look at both the normal Xenomorphs and then move on to the Queen. Xenomorphs, while not as smart as humans, aren't dumb by any means either. For example, they can sense when someone is infected by an embryo, making sure not to attack them. They're able to track people given their footsteps, willing to jump at an enemy, even if they're about to die, as so that their acid blood will damage their enemy, meaning they know themselves how powerful their blood is. They're able to cut off power in certain parts of a ship that they know the humans are in, meaning the Indom has some serious competition. But let's see what she has done. She was able to figure out when her feeders would arrive to her den, allowing her to utilize her abilities at the proper time so that they thought she escaped. Again, using her abilities further, she was able to trick people into thinking that she had left her enclosure, and she was able to figure out she was being tracked and willingly clawed out a large chunk of her own flesh in order to escape her hunters. So overall, it's very close. But I'm gonna have to give the slight edge to the Queen Xenomorph. Given less experienced Xenos, like the drones, are able to outsmart humans at certain points, just imagine what she can do. The winner for IQ is the Queen Xenomorph. Next up is Battle Intelligence. Now, this one is really hard to say. On one end, you have the Indom, who has faced many things her size, such as Rexy, the Ankylosaurus, and even Brachiosauruses. So she'll know how to fight something the size of the Queen Xenomorph. But on the other hand, the Queen Xena has been able to fight and perform on par, and sometimes outsmart, the greatest warriors in the universe, that being the Predators. So it's a tie. When it comes to sheer battle intelligence in general, the Queen takes it. But when it comes to who will know more in this fight specifically, the Indom takes it. So again, it's a tie. Next up is their abilities. Starting with the Indom. She has thermal vision, camouflage, body temperature manipulation, and night vision. And the Queen possesses acid blood and camouflage, or at least she should be able to, as the normal ones can. So when it comes to abilities, while the Queens are more dangerous, for this fight, the Indoms are just more useful. The winner for abilities goes to the Indom. Now onto physical weaponry. whose body gives him more ways of attack. The Queen Xenomorph has many arms, all with sharp claws. She has a faceplate which helps defend her brain, she has sharp teeth along with her inner punching mouth, back spikes, and of course her razor-sharp tail. The Indom has a gnarly bite, sharp claws, a blunt tail, back spikes, and quills on her head. So again, it's super close, but I'm gonna have to give the very slight edge to the Queen Xenomorph. It's just overall, if the Indom decides to attack the Queen, she'll most likely just injure herself in the process. And now finally, terrain adaptability. Now they'll both do very well in this setting. The Indom can use her abilities to their fullest, hiding amongst the trees and bushes, and her night and thermal vision will give her an upper hand at night, if the battle makes it to nighttime, that is. But onto the Queen. In this setting, she can climb around with ease, blending in well with her surroundings. Now while not able to see at night like the Indom, she can still, like the normal Xenomorph, track very well. And if a normal Xenomorph can track a human on a spaceship, I'm sure the Queen will be able to hear all 9 tons of the Indom walking around. But who can adapt better? Well, I'm gonna have to lean towards the Queen, as the Xenomorphs have been all around the galaxy, and are able to survive and thrive comfortably on other planets. So it's super close, but the Queen just barely steals it. So let's look at the board. We have a score of 6-4. The Indom takes strength, speed, and abilities. The Queen takes durability, agility, IQ, physical weaponry, and terrain adaptability, and they tie on battle intelligence. Now, how would this fight realistically play out? Well, knowing the two beasts, they would immediately attack each other, not even bothering to try and learn anything about each other. Now, one thing I know a lot of you have been thinking about the entire time as well, what if the Indom gets hit by acid? And, well, here's the explanation. Now, firstly, it's not like the Indom's jaw or arms are just going to melt away. It's acid, not a bomb. Now, sure, every time the Indom attacks, she will damage herself, slowly chipping away and dissolving her claws and teeth. But she can still fight for a while. But the main issue with the Indom, even with her sharp claws, she will still have a hard time getting through the Queen's durability. The best bet for the Indom is using more blunt force attacks, such as trying to side check her, or using her tail as a blunt force attack. But even with all that being said, I'm just going to cut to the chase. The Queen Xenomorph wins with mid to high difficulty. Her agility and overall IQ will help her through this fight. That along with the fact that each time the Indom hits her, she'll be damaging herself, and the Indom will slowly start to die a painful death. And even if the Indom tries to run away, while she will outpace the Queen will find her eventually thanks to her tracking skills. If you watched this far, thank you. It means a lot that you took this time out of your day to just listen to me yap. And this took forever to make. So if you did end up enjoying this video, then please make sure to subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. But as always, everybody, keep collecting. Guzzle the Guy, out. See ya.